Is that your instinct when you first pick up a guitar? Is you like, I want to shred this thing, or is it, I'm going to play something slower or easier, or how does your brain adapt going from one genre to the next? Was it an easy shift, or it always kind of blows my mind when people are able to do that?
It definitely took me a while to figure out how to do that. For the longest time, I was only playing guitar. I didn't have to worry about vocals, so I would just, crank my guitar and just start shredding. And then once I started to write more indie stuff and kind of branch out of my comfort zone, my entire rig started to change. When I was still playing heavy music, I had like 3 different amps, and the last time I used it, it was like I was using 2 amps at the same time. So I had like a PV 5150 on a Mesa 412 cab, and then I had this Hovercraft 50-watt amp head that I had custom made, and then like a PV Valve King 412 cab, and I had them both going at the same time. And then eventually I had like a Sun. It was like a 70s Sun 200 bass amp with a matching 215 cab, and I was running all 3 of them at the same time. And I was like, man, I can barely fit this in my car.
Yeah.
I was getting so tired of lugging stuff around, and one of my bandmates, Matt James from Matthew James and the Rust Belt Union, he was like, hey man, have you ever thought of just playing like a Tweed Deluxe? And I was like, I don't know. And I went into a guitar store and kind of messed around with it, and I had no idea what I was doing, because it was like just a totally new era. Like I had never played clean on any of my other amps. It was always high gain, high distortion all the time. So I think once I ended up buying that Blues Deluxe, it kind of opened my eyes and taught me like, oh, I can still get some of those metal sounds out of this amp. I just have to use pedals or, push the gain a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And some of the bands that I really loved listening to, like Mastodon and Baroness, like the guys from Baroness, they play single coil, like Tele or Jazzmaster guitars through a Princeton reverb. Like, they're not playing these giant full stacks anymore. So I was like, you know what? I don't need all this stuff, and it's definitely going to be a lot easier on my back when I'm carrying this stuff around.
Yeah, I feel you 100% with like the dragging gear everywhere. I mean, I used to do the same thing. It was 2 4x12s, 2 amps, and you do the bi-amp thing, and it was tons of fun because you get this awesome blended sound that like nobody else has, and it's